You guys remember that time we were sitting on the couch? You guys remember that time we were on the couch and I asked if you remember if we were on the couch?
I'm gonna have a look. Well, it certainly is.
You guys remember the time when we were on this couch and I asked you, do you remember when we were on this couch?
We must be very careful. We are in the
You guys remember the time I asked you if we were on the couch?
No.
So that
trouble I might have avoided. You would have tried to change the future, which is against the law.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa. MaJaMa.
Dr. Webster, I checked the master control of the cooling system. There's a malfunction, but I can't get to it. Should I bring you back up?
I'll tell you what. That looks like a lot more activity than there ought to be. I think we better start back up, Mr. Spangley.
Welcome back, everyone, once again to MaJaMa Jams, a show where we discuss other people's work to avoid doing our own. Now, today we are traveling back in time to the 70s when men were men and real men were new men. It is When Time Ran Out, which is not a documentary about third trimester abortion, but actually a disaster flick about a mountain that's set on top of a volcano. I mean, a volcano that's set on top of a building. I mean, an office building that's set on top of a fissure. I mean, there's something on top of bubbling lava, and you know what? It was pitched to us as kind of a disaster, but I thought it was actually pretty fun. We got some sexy old white men from the 70s, and Jacqueline Bisset that Matthew thinks looks like a cracked out hippie with a mullet emerging from the back of a 7-Eleven after a 3-day Coke binger.
I will say she looked better towards the end of the film.
Yes.
But then again, a lot had been done.
So we're going to get into it. This was a juicy one. And I am going to turn it over to our maestro as usual, who always introduces the movies to us, because apparently when I want to do some of my movies, like Fear and Loathing in Brain Candy, this cocksucker over here says it's not good for whatever reason. So
you want to have a real discussion about a good movie.
Those discussions are being denied you guys because of him, because he just wants to beat a dead horse and making fun of shitty movies. But I didn't think today's movie was that shitty. We're going to get into it. Mateo?
Yes.
Our plot synopsis for When Time Ran Out, please.
All right. So there is a hotel built on an island in Hawaii.
I apologize, but
Don't touch him.
He's touching.
We got new mugs, guys. In case you forget who we are. Continue.
Thank you.
In case we forget who we are.
Yes.
You are, of course,
But it's not the one that starts with M.
Jason.
Yes.
His name was Jason.
So there is a hotel on an island in Hawaii built, of course, next to a volcano that is believed to be dormant. But dormant is not.
It's window mint.
It's been a little while that I haven't used the graveyard. The big inauguration or whatever, everybody's there, and the volcano starts to go boom, and as usual they say, we have to, if we stay here we'll die. No, if you leave we'll die, and the usual tug of war, and then we follow a few stragglers. No, not stragglers.
Old people.
Some old people.
Is that something that I should know about?
No.
It's like a group of exercise walkers through a mall, except they're trying to escape a fucking natural disaster in Hawaii.
Yes. And
have they ever done that? Like an elderly home disaster movie?
It's called The Expendables.
Okay, Church, what can I do for you?
In a minute. I'm still waiting for one more guy.
Who?
You know him?
Yeah, we used to be on the same team together. What's my oldest worst friend doing here?
Yes. like a nursing home is attacked, or not attacked, but like
very slowly.
The Expendables 10. Hey, come on, roll me.
But anyways, the group of old people decides to leave the hotel just in time, because only 6 hours later the hotel gets destroyed, and they go on the other side of the island, where we are told 2 ships will arrive at noon the next day. We are not seeing those, but the ending is pretty hopeful.
we see them. No, we see them
You know what this is?
when we get to when they get out of the cave to the ridge, right?
Yeah, and then they go down towards.
But they see the ships coming up.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
It's
don't know.
Jurassic Park.
There's no dinosaurs.
And if I'm remembering
Well,
correctly,
they're pretty old. So, yes.
King Kong versus Godzilla, where they say the ship's coming back from us tomorrow, we got to get to there. Or is that a ton of movies?
But yeah, that's a ton of movies.
Yeah.
Well,
And mostly it's
Mostly it's the bridge scene.
yeah, we're going to get to that.
We could boil it down to the bridge scene and then the volcano probe.
Damned irresponsible conclusion on your part.
Which was
Yes.
in rap. I
Glass
don't know.
bottom volcano.
Well,
probe.
I should say that this was pitched to us as not a disaster genre movie,
Who
but
told
as
you
a
that?
movie that was a disaster. And when I said I didn't think it was that bad, Mateo here said, well, actually, it's the fact that it is preceded by 2 absolute classics. Mateo, the director is...
Irving.
Paul
no,
Newman.
It's not Irving. Allen is the producer.
I'm sorry, the producer is
Producer
Irwin Allen.
who invented the catastrophic genre with the Poseidon Adventure and the Towering Inferno.
Both before this.
Both before this.
So while this wasn't necessarily horrific, following in the footsteps of its stellar brethren, it kind of...
Because and in the meantime he did a lot of other. This one is not the third one. He did.
This is a trilogy?
No, but it's not just.
it's an unofficial disaster trilogy.
No.
Because in the
I
70s.
think you're making that up.
In the 70s, they started to go with the disaster because the Poseidon Adventure was extremely successful. So they did right after that the Towering Inferno, and then there were other movies, including a couple of TV movie like Avalanche or Flood, whatever it was called.
Killdozer.
Killdozer.
Killdozer is great.
Killdozer is another
Coming
sort of-
on this channel.
Yes. And then he did Beneath the Poseidon
But
Adventure.
as a
or-
producer?
Yes.
Okay.
Or The Other Side of the Poseidon Adventure with Tank Spectacularly. And then The Swarm.
It happens
which
again, or it's a
tanked
continuation?
It's a kind of like a continuation. The Swarm, which tanked spectacularly. This one, which tanked spectacularly. Yes.
Where's the fight? Where's the fight?
And in fact, when Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno came and became gigantic hits, Irving Allen was called the master of disaster. When the last 3 movies tanked, he was again called the master of disaster, but for completely different
Double-edged
reasons.
sword.
Yes, and
Works both
this
ways.
one was the last theatrical movie he directed. Then he went back to television because he invented
Voyage to the bottom of the sea.
a lot of pedigree.
Yes.
And also a lot of Alpo. We are working from a script here by none other than Carl Bertanodanulusky and Skinamarink Syphilis, if I remember correctly.
Sure.
Do we know what else they've written?
I don't remember if they wrote actually The Poseidon Adventure or something like that. They were collaborators of Mr. Allen, as well as the director whose name escapes me right now. Forgive me. James Goldstone. He directed, among other things, he directed at least one of the classic Star Trek TV shows, and he directed Roller Coaster, another.
Really?
Yep.
Disaster roller coaster?
Disaster movie, yes.
Get ready for the thrill of your life. Now, Universal plunges you into a mystery at the speed of sound. Roller Coaster.
Much like Final Destination 3.
Yeesh. And this one was based upon a book that Mr. Allen read.
It was a sticker album, correct?
It was, yes.
Look, Volcano blows up on this one. I put the fire right there with my sticker.
Well, it was a baking soda volcano originally.
Went to my kid's science fair and had my mind blown. It's like an actual volcano right in front of me.
There were volcanoes everywhere. He read this this book titled the End of the World or something like that, which was about the Mount Pele, which is mentioned in the movie.
Now, look, all you're doing is spreading panic. There's no way for that lava to get over the ridge between us and the stables, I guarantee it.
Forget your guarantee. This could be a replay of Mount Pele, Martinique, 1902.
She's okay.
Everybody making excuses until the damn mountain blew up.
It was a catastrophic volcanic eruption in 1902, where apparently 30,000 people died. So he optioned that novel, or rather that book, because I think that it was much more of a description of what happened. And so they twisted it and they made it an adventure with characters and stuff.
You know what I will say is that while I enjoyed it, it does seem kind of like it sets itself up and sets the characters up
for failure.
We have our explosion. We have what's going to happen. We culminate in, which we will get into, the bridge scene, which I have to say had the beautiful effect of, even with joking with you guys the whole time, enjoyably so, I was just, nope, you pulled me. I was right there. Beautifully, with it, effect every movie
Sucks
wants.
about Pat Morita, though.
It sucks about everyone in that scene.
Mainly Pat Morita.
Maybe Pat Morita. But then, after that...
Yeah, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
It kind of just...
We knew she was going.
We're here. And it's not necessarily a bad ending, but I did find myself, especially after being the most engaged with the movie I was with the bridge scene, that we're just, we're good.
Yeah.
And it kind of ends. There's other...
I would have loved to seen the hotel be ravaged, ripped apart, people running around in chaos, fireballs exploding all over the place, and in this case, we only get the hotel blown up in one fireball, and that's about it. I'm like, really? After all that shit, like the main villain, or not the main villain, but the guy who's the naysayer the entire time, that's going to be his comeuppance, just a fireball in the face?
Well, funnily enough, you did say fireball in the face, and then it happened like a second later.
You think it was my fault?
Probably. Let's watch it again, but don't say that line.
Okay.
And see what happens. No, it's apparently, according to Ernest Borgnine.
He couldn't see shit though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all right. Only, Doc?
The burns around his eyes appear to be only superficial.
Did you hear that, Tom? They're only superficial.
But he knew things. And apparently, the budget.
What was it? The Borgnine subplot.
Yeah.
It was just like a story of. I don't know.
A story of an old man who shimmies in little shorts, shaking his booty like he's walking down the friggin' strip at 5 in the morning.
In light blue sweatpants.
I'm going to follow you wherever you travel. You just remember that.
Sweatpants with the tramp stamp sticking
Listen,
up.
we will show you that clip. You guys have no idea. He's just literally shaking his booty. In little tiny shorts. Why is he doing that?
It's almost like the guy from Cruel Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
It's a contest.
Maybe they go to the same gym.
And let's slip in also Bruce Jenner from Can't Stop the Music with his short shorts.
Roll it.
This way. This way. Jack, I thought it was a perfect place for us to rehearse.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
It's gonna be a trio.
Oh my God! The fact that the dude from Cruel Jaws bends over in front of the camera.
Yes, but
not directly though.
Yeah. This one was the most, the biggest budget that Mr. Allen has ever had, which were, back then it was $20 million, which was a lot.
What a loser.
Yeah. And apparently, once again, Ernest Borgnine said the special effects looked cheap because the vast majority of the money got eaten beside the cast, which is, it was all stellar names, but by the locations on Hawaii, to secure the location, to rig them, and so
It looks beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
And I did find that, like I said, the Jurassic Park thing, you do get a sense that you are in this kind of tropical paradise on a compound. And we did spend most of the movie, the first part at least, kind of joyfully MST3K'ing it. Every time I try to do that abbreviation, my brain stumbles. But I actually found it pretty enjoyable. When me and Matthew were saying, is it felt like an adventure we'd play in the backyard with some human figures, and there weren't dinosaurs. But
plus,
like
we had that bendable wooden fence, and we would take it and stretch it across this little ledge of the staircase, and we would push it down with push pins. We make the characters have to walk across it to play Jurassic Park, and then they'd start breaking, and they'd have to fall off of it.
And they wonder why we never grew past that. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, why try? Why try past that?
Sounds wonderful. So, Mateo, why?
This is excellent.
Excellent.
This is excellent. Wonderful. Excellent.
Do you think it's just the pedigree of what came before that had it ill-received? Because while it wasn't, like a masterpiece, I find that it did do its job very well, entertaining enough.
No. It's just a bridge scene.
I don't know. It was considered lackluster in comparison?
Yes.
Compared to what?
It was mostly because it's almost bit by bit a remake of the Poseidon Adventure and its sequel. In the sequel of the Poseidon Adventure, they had to walk over there was a sort of a ledge, and they had to walk over boiling gasoline or something like that, and so it was exactly the same scene.
It's boiling
acid?
Yeah.
Oh no! It's boiling
You know, it's a shame this movie is called When Time Ran Out, because that's what I was planning to call my short about trying to find a bathroom after eating Chipotle when I was Instacarting during the days of the pandemic.
A little long, but it's funny.
It's okay. I got him with the third trimester one earlier. So let's highlight.
No.
So let's highlight our two positives, and then we'll get into the other stuff that we want to make fun of old people about. So very cool miniatures.
Yes.
I thought I was enthralled by the main. Was it the drilling base or no the maintenance base? Because where they look at the
lava surveillance base.
The lava surveillance base. It absolutely reeks of old 50s like space adventure playsets, compounds. Gorgeous miniature work, and what we all loved was that the guys go to check on the lava, so they go in a little pod.
What the hell happened? Howard, what's going on? Can you read me, Howard? Howard, can you hear me?
It just seems really unnecessary.
It seems unnecessary, but it's a kick-ass scene. Reminiscent, as I said, if you guys out there are Ghostbusters 2 fans, which you should be, reminiscent of Ray descending into the pink slime and dangling above it.
We're breaking through. See some light. I'm in some kind of a chamber. Does tile work? Slime! What? It's a river of slime! There's gotta be 25,000 gallons of it! It's flowing through here like a river!
They are stuck down there trying to observe the lava rising when the cable starts to break.
Definitely lava.
You
see it too, right?
But you might say, oh, it's bubbling. Let's go closer.
Yeah, like I'm saying, you could have seen that from the top.
Yes.
I mean,
you don't have to go that low. Plus, the bottom of the
glass bottom
probe
thing.
elevator is glass. So once again, yes, of course, you can make glass as thick as you want and indestructible.
Yes.
But
Hold on!
it seems like more of a tourist trap than you would like a practical scientific tool to study liquid hot magma.
Liquid hot magma.
And yet, having said all that, I thought it was a great scene.
It's a...
It has all the classic hallmarks of it. You get the father from Webster with his gorgeous jacked arms trying to friggin' looks way better than me doing it.
We got it!
You got the bubbling magma, you got the guy falls through, you got the sweat on the face. Great little scene, regardless of any absurdities of a lava monitoring dropping device. And then
later on, when the whole lab collapses, is pretty cool.
Yes,
also.
yes, because it's built over the cliff, so it falls in. Absolutely great miniature work and design.
It looks like a penis turning flat.
It's Florida, dangling into the ocean. And then, the culmination of our movie is a cross the bridge escape scene, which, as you may say, wow, that sounds so routine. I gotta tell you, I was very surprised. Like, I just caught myself and realized that I wasn't talking to you guys and was completely with the scene. And enjoying the hell out of it.
We enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No, you being tranced in the scene and not talking to us.
Right. Well, that helps too. It goes on for quite a while, but it never lost me, and it's essentially just get all the characters across. It's essentially the old thing of the things are breaking, and yet, man, that scene fucking had me. Great.
The old man uses his talons as a cross dresser.
His talents as a cross dresser. He smuggles the kids here. They all just think he has massive tits. Why are your tits breathing?
No, he was a circus act with his wife of equilibrists.
Yes. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Kid. All right.
Was mentioned briefly at the beginning.
Oh, Mr. Gilmore, may I present Mr. and Mrs. Valdez? Mr. Shelby Gilmore.
How do you do?
How do you do?
High wire act, right?
We retired years ago. We're flattered you remember us.
I saw you perform in Vienna, and I've never forgotten it.
To William Holden, who is the owner of the hotel.
That's who that is?
Yes.
What's he famous for?
William Holden?
Yeah.
For mostly being drunk.
Oh.
He halted the production of this movie for 6 days to recover from drunken binge. He's done a lot of... well, he's also in The Towering Inferno, oddly enough, with Paul Newman.
Paul Newman's in The Towering Inferno?
They were lovers.
Oh.
Yeah, strange twist.
It's very progressive for 1976.
74.
Of course.
What was the, as long as you brought it up, even jokingly,
oh shit,
what was the first moment of homosexuality shown on screen?
Pretty much since the very first movie.
Queers were always involved.
It's called The Kiss.
Heavily in all drama.
Imagine that's how the documentary opens. Since the very first movie, queers were heavily involved.
No, but the first movie ever is called The Kiss, if memory serves, and it's just like a man and a woman kissing.
That's not gay.
No, it's not gay, but the second movie...
Oh. Kiss 2.
Was the,
this time it's gay!
20% more gay!
This time it's... This time it's two dudes.
May I cut in?
Why, certainly.
Boys will be boys.
Woo!
So what's different about the sequel? Well, you know how last time there was a woman in that position.
Yes, go on.
Well, you know,
Where did we come to? Gay kisses. Sorry.
Where are we right now?
We're talking about a bridge.
How did Matthew
you were
said-
talking about Paul Newman and...
Oh, you said
William
Paul
Holden.
Newman was fucking someone.
Yes, exactly, of course. And William Holden. And William Holden is famous for
being drunk.
Yes,
And gay.
and going off script.
And going down
on Paul Newman.
Yes, but going off script during.
God, again, he's got to shoot in 5 seconds. That'll be enough.
He went off script during the Oscars.
Before Barbara and I present this next award, I'd like to say 39 years ago this month, we were working in a film together called Golden Boy. And it wasn't going well because I was going to be replaced. But due to this lovely human being and her interest in understanding and her professional integrity and her encouragement, and above all, her generosity, I'm here tonight.
Oh, Bill. You didn't tell me.
It was him and Barbara Stanwyck who starred together in
Golden Boy.
In that movie, and yeah, it was nice. But he did I mean, at first, before alcohol destroyed him, he was just like the handsome guy.
You heard him?
Norma, you're a woman of 50. Now grow up. There's nothing tragic about being 50. Not unless you try to be 25.
The greatest star of them all.
Goodbye, Norma.
No,
Well-
and this movie is also known, and it was made fun of for the extremely long close-ups where nobody says anything. There are a lot of close-up of
Yes.
people just like listening to.
Yeah.
If you remove those, the movie will last 2 minutes. Which also, I'm touching you. I like it.
Speaking of lasting 2 minutes.
I wish. The original cut of this movie was something like 124 minutes, and the Warner Brothers.
Jesus Christ! Why?
Because so we would have known, we would have seen Red Buttons running a little more and stuff like that, I guess.
Wait, what's his name?
Red Buttons.
I thought that was
Red Buttons
Burgess
was the old
Meredith.
man?
No, Burgess Meredith was the equilibrist.
Wait, who? Red Buttons was the shimmy shimmy?
Yes.
Oh.
Wait, his name is Red Buttons?
Well, that's a stage name.
Who's Red Dwarf?
I don't know.
Oh, he does golf videos, right?
Oh, Dorf goes golfing.
Now I'd like to introduce a very valuable asset to my game of golf, my caddy, Leonard. Leonard will, of course, be selecting the right club for me and also giving me some information on the course itself. Right, Leonard? Huh? The club, Leonard, the club. You'll be giving me information about the course and selecting the right club.
The club's over there.
Right, that's what I mean. We get... Leonard, that's the clubhouse.
It's pretty, isn't it?
Isn't it, though?
Wait, who's
Dorf
Red?
does fishing.
Yeah.
That's Tim Conway.
Is...
He cut off his legs for the role. Life commitment.
Yeah.
Wait, what's Tim Conway?
Yeah.
As a Dwarf?
Yes.
Dorf goes fishing.
No, I know Dwarf.
And Vincent Schiavelli was his assistant. Never mind. So
Wait, what's the red old guy?
The what?
He did like vaudeville.
Oh,
VHS
Red
tapes
Skeleton.
at Kmart.
Red
Yeah.
Skeleton.
Oh, Red Skeleton. Okay.
I always go to the commissary early in the morning, about 7 o'clock. Flies don't get up until 9.
Matthew, what were some of the things you disliked about this movie?
The entire first hour.
But I was saying the movie was 124 minutes. Warner Brothers forced Irving Allen to do a
blowjob on them in the boardroom.
Yes, and a more reduced cut, which is the one that we saw. And when the movie premiered on television, they blew it up to 3 hours with deleted scenes and divided in 2 evenings. And they had the most ludicrous title like...
And now, Earth's Final Fury.
Was there more action?
No,
Oh.
It was more drama.
Oh.
You're sure of that?
So probably, I mean,
once the volcano erupts, like, okay, I'm fine, I'm with it.
I didn't think it was that bad.
Probably the Ernest Borgnine Red Buttons story would have had a little more meaning.
And hopefully some sort of climax.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
I mean, they at least say, hey, when I get back out of this, you say, give me a 20-minute head start before the feds come after me.
Then my cock goes on your throat.
They'll slap you with an indictment the minute you land.
I'll take that chance, okay? When you can see again, come looking for me. All I want is a 20-minute head start.
That's fair enough, Francis.
That was cut, but it was in the TV version, yes.
What are some of the negatives?
We've been talking about them for the entire episode. What do you mean?
Deja vu.
What are some of the negatives?
We've been talking about them for the entire episode. What do you mean?
Deja vu.
What a nightmare.
Who was your least favorite cast member?
Oh, creepy guy.
Which?
Creepy looking guy. The one who looked like all the Brady Bunch squished together.
Oh my God!
Excuse me, Brian, the guests are arriving.
How beautiful. And you remember also in Venice, what a lovely little place.
How did we almost forget to highlight him? He looks
his
like...
name is, I'm sorry.
David Cassidy had 60 Catwoman surgeries to make a plastic perma-smile, even though he's probably...
Edward Albert.
Is there something wrong?
No, Mr. Gilmore, everything's fine.
Oh. Also Richard Grieco. Greco?
Grieco, I think.
Okay.
But yes, it looks like it's either... David Cassidy has tried to clone himself 6 or 7 times.
I kept seeing David Cassidy.
And that was the final result.
Like he's constantly covered in goos or oozing goo from his...
Why am I covered in goo?
Why am I drippings with goo?
A great voice actor, by the way. He did a lot of cartoon voices and stuff.
Hey, I'm one of the good guys. Then why'd you help Fisk kidnap Parker? Just my luck. This guy thinks I kidnapped me. Look, I've been framed too. I need that disc to clear myself. Oh, really? More likely you're planting evidence against Parker.
And he was in apparently in a truckload of Power Rangers.
Yeah.
What?
Crazy,
as
right?
Mr. Collins, I think.
Wait, as a human?
He barely is one, so I guess.
His name was Mr. Collins?
Mr. Collins in the Power Ranger. I think. I'm not particularly well versed in the Power Ranger.
I guess same.
Verse.
I mean, aside from the original show.
And even then.
Yeah.
So you were saying that this is one of the only ones that Paul Newman, very passionate and picky, said he did for the money?
Yes.
I don't know if I can handle it.
His performance isn't exactly sleepwalking, so, you know.
Well, he's a professional, so none of them comes out as sleepwalking and...
Those kids sucked.
Don't worry, bro. We'll make it.
The kids suck.
Although it was cute when he hugs Burgess Meredith.
We're gonna have fun. I'm gonna give you a piggyback ride. And all you have to do is hold on tight.
Do you understand?
Yes.
And also, you gotta keep your eyes closed tight. Don't peek down, don't look back. Just keep your eyes closed tight. Do you understand?
Yes.
Put them on my back. Boy first. I'll come back for her, right? Are you holding on tight? Are your eyes closed? All right. We're gonna go, kid. Hold on.
Yeah, and that's the only thing, that the bridge scene
brings everyone together.
Virtually all the bets are off because they kill Pat Morita and the stupid blonde. So
That's fucked up.
It could go either way. The only thing that in the movies from the 70s, you knew the kids would have survived. No matter what, they would have survived. Even if they were just like the only two, they would find something like a slingshot with a palm tree or something, but they would have survived.
You know, I gotta tell you, I get it with dogs. For all my rantingness about movies being explicit, I realize I don't want to see a dog death scene. It's disturbing. Honestly, I would rather see a kid die on film, than a dog.
I don't think anyone's arguing against
It's
that.
easier to process because the kid will eventually grow up to be petty and vindictive, but a dog, every second of its life, will just be like, I just have love. Who can I give it to? Who can I give it to? Where is someone? I just want to love.
Plus, kids are fun to make, but they're a bitch to raise.
Oh, it sounds horrible. I don't know why everyone in my life has one. It's insane.
Easy to kill, though.
Yes. Ask the blob.
Come on, boy, go!
To Belly Fruit.
Yes.
A movie about why kids should have been aborted.
I got 2 boys. I'm trying to get through college. I can't afford not to work.
This feels like we did a good job, but we're kind of done. It's one of those. It reminds me of Eric's Revenge of the Mall.
Depressing.
Where
We had to watch that entire thing, and now this is what we worked.
I did not disenjoy this.
It's just a joke. It takes us
But I thought it was actually a pretty fun movie. It's like a Jurassic Park of the 70s with no creatures.
Okay, you're throwing Jurassic Park around a lot.
You did, but honestly, you did not get a strong vibe of that.
I get what you're saying, but
there's
Jurassic
something
Park
fun.
has dinosaurs.
There's something fun about here's a tropical ecosystem, and I mean,
Let's fuck it up.
Well, exactly. Here's an ecosystem in a tropical place. It's got a lot of cogs and wheels, and we know something is going off, and all the inhabitants are responding to it. I thought that worked. I thought that was fun. Newman's always a nice presence, and like you said, there's a lot of professionals in here that are good at what they do.
Every single actor is stellar, except for the part where they just like stay silent. It's very weird, but you rarely see somebody, and apparently there's a fairly diffuse, common rumor that everybody knew that they were doing a piece of crap. That was
While they were filming.
While they were filming it. Mostly because they were saying, okay, haven't we already done this?
Damn it, man, we have a contract!
Okay, so Matteo, you were saying this, the problem of the sequel, give me exactly the same, but just different enough like anyone fucking knows how to do that.
It's the usual stuff, that eventually they seem that there is a famine for this genre, but then they say, oh, but it's always the same thing. There's the same, the dance and the stress versus this. Then you can't really win. It's very, very hard to be able to give another taste of the same cake without giving you the same cake.
And that's why I said last time, in a similar, this sounds obvious and yet it feels like a big point, like, stop, it's not going to happen, but like, stop with the sequels. They work like this much. Now, just for fun, and using only the criteria of your personal opinion, then I'll ask you, but I'm more interested in your answer because you're more exhaustive and ready to fire off with it, and you're kind of, were you even alive there? Personal choice, best sequel ever.
And you can only use the letters B and X.
But Mateo's personal choice for the best where it's like, you know what? Throw everything you say about sequels in the garbage, man. This one was worthy to be made. Maybe it was even greater than the first one. Maybe even you thought that, but it wasn't like a consensus like Godfather 2. But like, what is your choice for best sequel ever?
That's a
good one. It's a good one, right? It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Hop, little bunnies, hop, 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 hop.
Yes.
Or even just one you really enjoy if you don't want to do the...
Or just name a random movie. We won't
Yes. Yeah. No, well, for instance, one of the things that I genuinely enjoy, because it was not supposed to exist, and so I was saying, okay, fair play, because not only you did a very good sequel, but you did a very good movie. It was Back to the Future Part 2.
Good answer.
It was not supposed to exist. The first one was to end as a joke.
Hey, Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it doesn't really rehash anything, but more expands what we've... Because it's a...
Back to the Future, the three movies are pretty much one large movie that you could watch seamlessly together, except for the change of Marty McFly's girlfriend. But
which brings us to another good point, which also isn't at all a good point, piggybacking on yours if you said it wasn't planned. But most times it probably happens because, like you said, it's like, oh, this was good. And we just planned to do one, and that was all we planned in our hearts. Can you do another? Like, no, but it made money. So, like, maybe the key, which we saw how horribly the latest Star Wars trilogy failed with this, maybe the key is to actually, again, most times it's like, wow, that was surprised with money, so give us another one. But maybe the key is to plan in ahead so that when they come to, they're like, oh, actually, I was developing ideas to further this. It made money, great. I know that's not...
You think planning a sequel would make the movie better?
Well, I'm just saying, look at any movie. Well, actually, that's not true. There's just as many examples of trying to expand that flops it, but I don't know.
Oh, that'd be like going from the frying pan into the fire.
I just think it's interesting that if you kind of switch your artistic gaze towards the posthumous and you think of a life
You're an artistic gay.
and you think of a life well lived, it's like, is it going to matter, this old chestnut, when you're on your deathbed, is it going to matter the money you made from all those sequels, or is what's going to matter the first one that was really a landmark of cinema that everyone loved to stick out? So,
well, which hospital are you in? What kind of bed do you have? The medication?
Well, you see that, for instance, there is genuinely a thought behind it between Toy Story and Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, whereas the fourth one is just like a cash grab.
Everyone, I want you to meet Forky.
Golly, Bob Harris. Look how long his arms are.
Trash? No, toys.
There is no reason in my mind that exists only to make money. Not that the other ones were made just like out of pure charity and everything, but there was a much more of a thought behind it.
Now, you know I'm with you on despising Toy Story 4, also because you don't make cinema's most perfect trilogy that actually increasingly gets better and ends on a perfect crescendo that is in no way a former shell of the first movie.
Crystal Skull.
Инженер, открыть ворота! Быстрее! Давайте! Быстрее, быстрее, быстрее!
Russians.
By the way, the matinees this upcoming month is the new bev for all 4 Indiana Jones. If
Focus.
You nerds are.
You were talking about
You're talking about Indiana Jones.
despising of Toy Story 4.
Thank you so much. The thing that is frustrating is I disagree slightly.
It's the focus that threw him off.
Because I think the inclusion of Forky and the philosophical idea of you were necessarily made in the same way by a company, but she assembled you. Does that make you a toy? I think if you were to tell me I want to do a Toy Story 4, and let's say I'm the boss, and I'm like, well, you got to bring me something that is philosophically up to par with the rest of these gorgeous movies, and you come in and you tell me there's a character named Forky that's assembled by a girl, and we start to delve into what is it like if a toy is made as also a toy. I'm like, oh my God, you guys did it. Having said that, I don't remember the movie connecting, and I remember feeling like even if Pixar never makes a piece of shit, that this doesn't. I think I get the same sense you're doing of like you just wanted another one. I don't know. I could even believe that they did want to continue the story, but to me it does not work, and it feels weird and it feels off.
Should have been.
Feels extraneous. You can't get away from the feeling of.
It should have been for Disney Plus.
Yes, because even the Toy Story shorts they did after 3. It's like, all right, they're fun. They're continuing the adventures of the toys together, but they're not really an integral part to the saga.
One of the best example of how to do a good sequel without rehashing the original one is Aliens.
Get away from her, you bitch!
One of the best.
Because Alien is a horror sci-fi. Aliens is an action sci-fi flick. And so you don't try to recapture the same genre.
Yeah.
Because you go with a different take on the same thing.
Although I do have to say after a rewatch, I forget how long it takes to actually get to the
actual aliens.
Yeah.
You bitch!
That is one I have not seen in an incredibly long time.
But it's still.
That's great. Yes.
Yes, it's still very enjoyable.
I will never forgive
Winona Ryder.
But this award from you, who take your craft seriously and earnestly believe, like me, that great acting can change the world, is a call to arms from our fellow craftsmen and women to go deeper, and through our art to battle against fear, self-centeredness, and exclusivity of our predominantly narcissistic culture, and through our craft to cultivate a more empathetic and understanding society by revealing intimate truths.
Toy Story 4 for what are some every trilogy falls short.
Every saga
And
has a beginning.
Even the beloved Star Wars, not that Jedi sucks, but no, I think everyone on Earth does not think that Return objectively trumped Empire. I'm sure there's a couple fans with how omnipresent Star Wars is, but the two that I can think of that are the most stellar, where they actually do what you think ideally a trilogy would do, which is that good, better, best, and ends on a high note of the whole series, are Toy Story 3, and the more recent Planet of the Apes trilogy, which I would love to do a rewatch, but I remember every one we sat down for seemed to get better and enrich the story, building on the emotions of the last one until War was just like, my God, what a fucking masterpiece, which is why I was so excited to see Matt Reeves take on the Batman, and it worked! Shout out Matt Reeves. But yeah, I'll never forgive Toy Story 4 for being like, you guys did the impossible and achieved a great trilogy that crescendos in the third, that you could argue that the third is the best, and then you tack on 4. And it's annoying. And also I would say to your Aliens thing, Aliens is on that approved list of like, hey, when everyone talks shit about sequels, everyone has a list they pull out with some approved titles. They are Godfather 2, Aliens, The Dark Knight, Empire. There's an official sequel list where it's like, this is the list that we all objectively agree the second one knocked it out of the park and is better.
You know, A lot of people don't agree with this, but my favorite indie is always Temple of Doom.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I think a lot, even as a peripheral observer, I feel like a lot of people think that's objectively the most kick-ass one. That's why I was shocked to learn it took it in the ass when it came out.
I always got shit for saying that because Raiders just amazing on its own, but Raiders never was my favorite. It was always the darkness of Temple of Doom.
Yes.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
What?
It's not the same. I recognize they're good. I can have fun with them, but like,
just stop denying it.
It's weird.
That's all I want. Just stop denying it.
You know, it's not. It's
Also,
like,
Return of the Killer Tomatoes is pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know what plans you had for this tomato, but they're over. Enough of this foolishness.
It has one of my favorite lines ever.
See you in salsa.
Well, should we vote?
Just based on the random energy of the show.
God.
Sorry. Just one last question, and if you can't think of one, it's fine. But do either of you, and this is an impossible question, but that's why it intrigues me to answer it. Do either of you have an all-time favorite movie quote?
No.
No.
It's tough, right?
Yep. So let's vote. I mean,
but think about it for next episode.
No. Those questions are fucking stupid as fuck. What's your favorite movie? Who's your favorite kid? You can't answer them. You can't pick that.
I usually tell people
films.
where the wild things are because nothing else makes me break down that emotionally.
But is that from the movie or from the book?
The movie.
Is the movie?
The book, well, because the movie expands so much on the book.
The book's like 2 words.
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be a fun question if you guys chew it for next time.
No.
So I'm going to start because I'm trying to hide the shame I feel after Matthew said that was a dumb question to ask, which, it does get to me sometimes. I play it up like an act, but I feel weird inside. It was shut down. So I actually did have a fun time with this. I understand the piece of shit in the context of its chronology, but I don't think it was a piece of shit at all. I like the coziness of the Jurassic Park environment. I love the stupid lava dissension and the bridge scene. So I'm going to give it 1, 2, 3.
I see that we're done.
I forgot. I'm sorry. It's been a gap. I forgot. Do it all in one so you don't have to edit it more.
Well, I thought it was a piece of shit. So I'm going to
Really?
go...
Like an actual piece of shit?
I mean, the bridge scene was fun, but that could have been in any film.
Throw it, you fucking idiot.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I'll accept it.
And a 12.
No.
4.12. 4.12!
You're going to throw off his count.
What count? Like, any of this matters. These numbers are arbitrary. Nothing means anything.
Welcome to Whose Lines It Anyway, where the points don't matter.
I go with... I've enjoyed this movie for its cheesiness.
I can see it.
Yes.
He saw you.
2.5.
That's because he heard you say he's doing it.
I can tell.
But you have to say, there is something to be said for a movie that single-handedly kills a whole genre for almost 20 years.
I suppose, in fairness, I wasn't factoring that in. They're just going on base level enjoyment.
Or at least not 20, but 15, because then Armageddon came about as about 18.
When you put it like that, when I look at the aesthetics of this, and you're telling me it didn't really happen until Armageddon, that is an interesting point.
So, 2.5 because I love the chopper scene.
Yeah.
Where everybody's going on the chopper.
Maybe I'll take that .12 back.
See? Okay. And also, more
MaJaMa.
more love for stuntmen, you know?
Yes.
It's one of the most
And women.
It's one of the most mind-blowing things is
There was a woman. There was a woman in the green pantsuit.
Stunt people. Please more
What about animals that
shine
perform?
for stunt people.
Yes.
Less shine for narcissistic, whiny actors, even if they're good. So, guys, thank you for joining us again. We had a blast with When Time Ran Out. And
That's what
guess
this was called?
Time has run out right now because it's the end of the episode. So I should have said this at the beginning, but if you're still with us, which is only applying to Paulo and his stuffed sharks, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a suggestion of what you'd like to see us do. Leave some hate, leave it to Beaver. And on that note, we love you guys. Thank you for being with us, and we'll be back next week with an all-new jam.
Unless it's a rerun of something that we did before.
Possibly. Unless it's a dredge up of an old tape so that we can have another week to work on something.
Shut up. It's planned that way.
Just kidding. We're locked in here, and this isn't a show. You're in here with us. You're our buddies.
MaJaMa. MaJaMa.